All right, so today I want to do some more stellar dot connecting with you. The more I'm starting to see a stellar, the more and more bullish I get. To me, just quite honestly, up to this point, it seems like stellar is kind of like the best kept secret in crypto. No one talks about it. There's zero hype around it. Just sailing right under the radar, kind of just like this security company itself. I mean, you see, they only have 1,400 followers roughly, and they've been around for 5 years now. So, yeah, they're sailing under the radar, and so I wanted to take a look at them with you guys. So, Digital Asset Investor mentioned them in his video today. I've actually heard about them from a few other guys. The Bigger Than Race guy on YouTube, he's talked about them a few times. So go ahead and watch his channel. He's all in on Stellar as well. Got a lot of great videos. But anyway, I just feel like Digital Asset Investor had a couple bullet points that he maybe didn't see or just failed to mention. So I wanted to cover them with you. So, all right, first and foremost, they did post this thing. So they're doing in partnership with the Digital Chamber of Commerce. Securrency is hosting Two Sides of the American Coin, a webinar. Panelists Jay Clayton, Brian Brooks. Y'all know who Brian Brooks is up to this point if you're following crypto at all. But anyway, so this is going to happen on October 1st. So go ahead and check that out. But when you come zoom in here, check out all the people that are going to be there. You have Jennifer Peeve from the DTCC, and then a couple guys from Securrency, State Street, so on. What I really obviously want to talk about today is Seth Hertline being there with the Stellar Foundation. All right, so the rabbit hole goes much deeper with Stellar being connected with these guys. So let's check it out. First and foremost, the CEO of Securrency. So this guy worked for the Navy forever. He worked for Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Activity, the Defense Intelligence Agency, and now he's over here at Securrency. So obviously very plugged in with government entities here in the United States. All right. And first and foremost, I wanted to just at least find out what this Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Activity is. So I clicked that, found this lady, Sherry Benedict, that's now working there as a deputy director. I just thought it interesting how she describes what they do. So she says, Intelligence Advanced Research Projects Activity, IARPA, invests in high-risk, high-payoff research programs that have the potential to provide our nation with an overwhelming intelligence advantage. So that's what that little group does that Dan Doney used to do or work for. Now he's over here at Securrency. Also found it very interesting how he describes what they're doing over there. So let's take a look. Securrency harnesses disruptions in finance, blockchain, smart contracts, distributed ledgers, and adds technology innovation to produce a new kind of financial instrument, a highly liquid, dividend-yielding, investment-grade digital currency with the transferability of Bitcoin, exchangeability of the dollar, and stability of bonds. So I thought that statement there was very interesting. There's a lot to take away from just that. So let's think about it. Highly liquid, okay, obviously we know that's going to happen. But, okay, so dividend yielding. So maybe some kind of proof of stake. I don't know. I don't know what they mean by dividend yielding, but obviously you're supposed to buy and hold this, and it's going to continue to pay over time. And I just found it very interesting as well that they say it's going to have the stability of bonds. So they're building digital securities over here at Securrency, and they're going to be dividend yielding and have the stability of bonds. What does that sound like to you? That just sounds like honestly, a digital bond. So we haven't seen anything like that issued in crypto yet up to this point. Or maybe there are a few out there. I haven't seen it hit the news. After this, I'll probably dig around for some just to see. But so basically, it sounds like he describes here is some kind of hybrid digital currency that acts as a stable coin almost, but also is dividend yielding. So it sounds like he's describing a digital tokenized bond. I don't know, crazy, interesting stuff. All right, but I just wanted to show you to kind of put that into perspective. Um, like looking at a price chart of bonds, over time dating back to 2004, this is a bond fund, and you can see how stable it has been. So, people look at that and they're like, oh, well, that definitely not something I want to invest in. But you're always going to want to have some stability in your portfolio. So I'm glad to see stuff like this coming out. But anyway, so they're building some kind of crazy hybrid digital security, and it's going to be dividend yielding and behave like a bond as well. So we'll see what comes out of that. Other thing to note here that I noticed, okay, so this company's been around since November 2015. Also interesting to note, Stellar was founded basically, a little over a year before that. So July 31st, 2014, been around longer than this company. But when you dig a little deeper, so first off, Dan Doney, obviously I showed how he had ties with the Navy. All right, so next up, you come over here to John Hensel, who's the COO of the company. Coming down here, what did he do? He also worked at the Navy as an officer. All right, so lots of Navy ties. You come over here, you see Jeff Truitt. This guy also worked at the Navy. So he was a JAG officer, did some legal stuff, obviously, and then now he's over here at Securrency. So Navy, 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 written all over this. But something that stuck out to me about that, I will get into shortly after that. So, but if you come right to the Stellar page, so first off, they're being mentioned. Okay, they're going to be guest speaking here with the Chamber Digital Commerce and Securrency are hosting, and you're going to have Seth Hartline, the head of policy and government relations of the Stellar Development Foundation. All right. And if you come over here to the Stellar page and you go to explore the ecosystem, check out the service providers tab. As I've shown you before, you got IBM in there, very well connected. But if you come to page 2, who else do you have there? Securrency. All right. So Securrency is right on the Stellar website of being part of their ecosystem, and they label Securrency as a platform for issuing compliant digital securities. All right, so there you go, tied right in there with Stellar, and but the Navy connection. So I've showed you this Simba before. I'm not sure if you watched the last few videos I talked about Simba, so I wanted to cover it briefly here again. But if you come over to Simba Chain and check out their website, once again, Simba Chain was formed in 2017 from a grant awarded by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency to Indiana Technology and Manufacturing Companies and the Center for Research Computing at the University of Notre Dame in order to develop a secure, unhackable messaging and transaction platform for the United States military. So once again, Simba Chain, tied in with Stellar, developing a secure, unhackable messaging and transaction platform for the United States military. And if you come down and check out their partners, who are they partnered with? So besides Microsoft and Ernst & Young and Notre Dame, we've already seen DARPA mentioned in the previous text. You have the U.S. Department of Energy, and then you have the Air Force Research Laboratory right here. And then you also have, oh, look, America's Navy right there. So that all ties in with all these guys working at Securrency and Stellar, and also U.S. Department of Defense. So pretty obvious here. This is all we've been given on the surface. Some little company called Securrency that no one's heard of with only 1.4 thousand followers on Twitter. Been around for 5 years, but they're well connected with the United States Navy and Stellar. So there you have it. Once again, I'm sure this Stellar rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than we're being told, but the project itself seems like a mystery, just besides some very clear and obvious connections now to the United States Navy, as well as Department of Defense, Energy, and the Air Force Research Laboratory. I mean, what else can you say? You know, I'm super bullish on Stellar, and the more I look around, the more I'm glad to be here and be a holder. So, but that about covers it for today. As always, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and stay tuned for the next one.
What is a cashless society? What does it actually mean in a literal or high-level sense?
Money will become like these, relics of a different age, and will only be found in places like this. In other words, hard cash will disappear. It will become electronic, transferred by things like these.
Then Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Mobile payment transactions in China reached a cumulative total of 277.4 trillion RMB in 2018, ranking #1 in the world, according to the recently released statistical report on internet development in China. As of June 2019, online payment users in the country reached 633 million. The cashless society is now approaching.
When's the last time you paid with cash? Well, chances are cash has taken a backseat to the plastic in your wallet and smartphone pay apps.
Denver 7's Ryan Luby explains the digital pay revolution and why not everyone is on board.
The cashless society, the cashless society.
The cashless society.
The cashless society is now approaching.
The cashless society.